Okay, so we just had our first snowstorm. I haven't been sure how the road's gonna handle it. I haven't gotten a snow plow or anything. Obviously this is not a maintained road, but not a lot of snow. I'm in four-wheel drive, so there's not gonna be any other vehicles on this road. One thing I'm curious about is all these tracks on the road. I'm gonna get out and look more closely at those. A lot of game tracks. I'll let Bandit out. Let him investigate. Oh, someone walked on here probably with a dog. But that's a lot of tracks. Not sure what they are. I think it's more than just a dog. There's walking tracks and neighbor walks her dog out here. But look at all this out here. I don't know how well you can see that. This wouldn't be dog. Oh, that's a deer. So out through there. So we'll let Bandit run next to the truck here. And we will get back in. Come on. Running next to the truck, and we're driving on the road. Bandit's still back there, can't barely see him, but got fresh tracks. Nothing's been out here. Glad to see that there's no trees down. That was another thing I was concerned about. And there's Bandit. And there's the cabin. So we're gonna park up here. We'll go check it out. And I had to use the bathroom. Oh, let me get the keys to the cabin. Some more tracks. It's like deer. Yeah, deer. So I just came out to check on the cabin, see how it was handling the snow, see if any trees were down on the road and get it shoveled out a little bit. So we are supposed to get snow today and then rain on top of that. They're saying up to 2 inches of rain above 40 degrees, so all this is gonna melt, and they're calling for flooding and a lot of danger stuff. So looks like everything's good. Me and Bandit are going to check things out, get things shoveled out a little bit, go on a walk probably out here, and then call it a day. So we're gonna go on a little walk in the snow. It's not quite deep enough to need snowshoes, but they probably help, but we're not gonna put them on. So we're just gonna go down on our road and walk up it a little bit and show you guys some of the winter views. This is not a town maintained road. One of the older roads in town, but nothing is really on it anymore. There's evidence that there used to be a lot of farming activity out here. New England is mostly sheep farms, which explains these rock walls that are everywhere throughout the land here. Some of them just seem to pop up out of nowhere for no real purposes, but 200-300 years ago this land would have all been clear cut, and as the farmers were clearing the land and the trees and getting it ready for either crops or sheep, they would move all the stones into stone walls, or in some cases just big piles of rocks. You can't see it very well because it's covered in snow, but out there is just a big pile of rocks where I think they decided they had built enough stone walls and put some rocks there. I know they were using some of the stones for repairing the roads. So here's my well, one of them. Looks undisturbed, no tracks or anything going up to it. Big healthy, well, I don't know if it's healthy, but big old oak right there, basically growing out of my well. I read someplace some of these big trees, I know cottonwoods are known for using a lot of water, but some of these big trees can use hundreds of gallons of water a day. So I wonder how much of my water's being used for trees. Gotta share it, but I'd be curious to get an idea. I'm not gonna cut down those trees, any of those big ones. They've been here plenty long time, but I wonder if it might be the case that if they were gone, that water supply would go a lot further. So you can see no one's been on this road, certainly no cars, no tracks of any kind, some wildlife tracks. These are bandits. You can see something came out of the woods here. I would guess a deer. Yeah, deer tracks. That's a good one that you can see. So a deer came out of these woods here, crossed this road, went up into those woods. It's a nice thing about fresh snow like this, so you can get an idea of where the animals are moving from and to this time of year. More deer tracks here, looks like. I saw earlier one of the on my property near the house, near the cabin. It looked like the deer were nibbling on some trees like beach buds, this sort of thing here. Oh, you can see those ones are those ones are chewed off. But up here, these are what they're eating. So maybe this isn't a good example. That's a bad one, a bad branch. I was gonna say something had eaten those off, but the other ones at the same level seem to not have been eaten. So the other thing that's fun on these types of days, there's a rock that must be warmer than the ground, or snow melted around it. But sometimes you get to see things you wouldn't have otherwise seen. So it's a big oak tree, old oak tree here, and I haven't noticed it before. So it's got a big split and it's hollow. Let's see if I can poke the camera in here. Doing this blindly, it's about 4 feet above my head. Pretty cool. Let's see what that looks like. I saw one like this the other day that had porcupine dung just hanging out of it. So, you know, porcupine was living there, and it was actually pouring out while I was looking. There's some barbed wire, old barbed wire. So that was cool. It doesn't look like anything's living in there right now, but wouldn't be a terrible place to live. There is some running water over here. If I'm quiet, you might hear it. See it right there. Hasn't frozen up yet. So I'm gonna turn the camera off. That's getting close to the end of our walk. But we just came out. We're not staying at the cabin just yet, but we came out to see how it handled the snow and clear some of it off, because we're gonna get more and actually a lot of rain will come with this storm, they're saying. So common sense is move some of that snow that you can away, because it's going to act like a sponge. And even though the cabin doesn't have a foundation, I'd like to do anything I can to just keep that away from the base of it in case it freezes up, or maybe it can help with preventing heaving of those piers, even though close to 40 years they haven't had anything like that happen, so that's a good sign. So this is back towards the cabin, just at the bottom of this hill, and I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'll give you some more updates later.